The beauty blogger was live streaming when the chat room was flooded with messages warning her that there was a ghostly figure behind her, but the female host didn't take it seriously. However, in the next second, a Spider-Man figure jumped out behind her on the screen and tightly strangled her from behind with a towel around her neck. Seeing this, the viewers in the live room quickly called the police. When the police and the forensic experts arrived, they found that the female host's boyfriend, dressed in a Spider-Man costume, was hanged in his own room. After examining the male victim, the forensic experts determined that it was a homicide. It appeared to be staged as if the boyfriend had killed the female host and then committed suicide out of guilt. But the surveillance footage showed that no one had entered or exited the floor after the crime. The police then narrowed down the suspect to one of the 4 residents on the same floor. After re-examining the male victim, the forensic experts found an important clue. Fibers on the male victim's gloves matched the material of the towel used to strangle the female host. But the width of the strangulation marks on the male victim's neck suggested that he had been strangled with a tie from his own hand. The forensic expert also carefully examined the male victim's fingernails and found no obvious signs of struggle. He then turned to the food and drinks on the table. After shaking and smelling the cola, he determined that it had been drugged. The male victim had been strangled while in a semi-conscious state. However, to confirm the findings, they still needed to wait for the results of the autopsy. Meanwhile, other police officers were questioning the residents on the same floor. It turned out that the 2 victims were a couple and had a good relationship. The residents on this floor also seemed to get along well, often gathering together for parties. Last night, they had just held a cosplay party at the female host's place. But in reality, the female host and another female resident did not have a good relationship behind the scenes. The rooms were not soundproof, and the female host often broadcasted until the early morning, severely disturbing the rest of the other female resident. Eventually, the 2 had a big fight and a conflict arose between them. Later, during another live broadcast by the female host, the loud music disturbed the other female resident's sleep again. She rushed to the female host's room and another conflict occurred. Unexpectedly, the live broadcast was still on, and the entire fight was streamed. But this incident unexpectedly gained the female host a large number of followers. After that, the relationship between the 2 women improved a little. Until last night's party, they had another argument. Finally, when the police asked the other female resident who she thought was the most suspicious, her answer raised suspicion among the police. The police had not disclosed any details of the case, but she knew that both victims had been strangled. So, could she be the murderer of the 2 people?